Good morning, everybody. It's me, Mitch. I'm here, still alive and kicking. Welcome. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mitch. Drink it if you got it. And especially drink it if you need it or you want it. Yes, Lewis, I am indoors this morning. It's kind of, I'll leave that chat rolling up there for, excuse me, for a little while. And hopefully I will remember to switch it back to full screen. In the words of one of my favorite philosophers, Rodney Dangerfield. I was in rough shape yesterday, but I'm okay now. I'm okay now. I don't want to talk a lot about yesterday. You ever have one of those days? You ever have one of those days where just right out of the gate, and my gate opened before 5 in the morning, everything was a hassle, just went wrong, just pissed you off, no matter which way you ever have one of those days. I don't know if it was me or the rest of the world, but I had one of those days yesterday. My entire day, and as many of you witnessed on the live stream this morning, existed on a very, very short fuse for me. And I don't want to dwell on it, but I just want to say, I think I unloaded a little bit too much on poor old Peter yesterday afternoon. And when it was all over, I was honest to God, I was a little ashamed of myself that I let it go that far. But you know, sometimes some little tiny pet peeve that you have just keeps nagging at you and nagging at you and nagging at you until, I think the expression is, the straw that broke the camel's back just unleashes it. And that's what happened to me yesterday. And I hope I didn't scare Peter away. We exchanged some emails yesterday, and we straightened everything out. I mean, we have an understanding now, and he said he would see me in the morning. I don't see him here yet. I hope you're watching, Peter, and don't be afraid to come in the chat. Sometimes little things just elevate themselves to big things. But that, as far as the avalanche of crap that kept raining down on me yesterday, I went ahead and I said, you know, I'm not really proud of myself. If I think I did something a little wrong or overboard, I'll be the last guy to try to make excuses for it or make it be okay. But I wasn't proud of that live stream, so I just made it private so nobody could see it. And I figured, well, and all day long, I was deluged with emails and things from people saying, where's your morning live stream? I'm trying to find it. I can't find it. And so all day long on what was already a bad day, my cell phone was just ding, 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 and I was being distracted. I couldn't get anything done. It was not one of those days, and at the end of the day, I just sat down. And if I was a drinking man, I would be hungover this morning. But good news is I'm not a drinking man, and I'm not a moody guy. If I get upset, pissed, or something like that, I get over it pretty quick. I don't carry it on. So I got great news for everybody. It's me, Mitch. Good old Mitch. Things are going fine this morning. No problems. I can't get into and don't want to get into everything that just disrupted me yesterday, but just know I have for a retired guy my age, I go non-stop from morning till night every day, and with the addition of all of the plumbing and repairs and stuff I've got going on, the fact that I have split-second schedules to meet, to do these live streams and things, and I have hundreds of emails and comments to deal with every day, that it's just constant interruptions. And sometimes I want to just turn everything off, but I can't, and I don't, because I don't want to ignore anything important. I don't want to ignore you guys when you send me an email. But it was one of those days, so mea culpa if I offended anybody. And I see Peter's here, t-shirt and shorts. Good to see you, Peter. You know I love you, my friend. And I'm going to tell people a little bit about the things that may not seem like big deals to you, but it's what triggered me yesterday. And I want you to understand, and I think Peter understands. I'm glad you're here. The thing that has always been kind of a pet peeve for me is when somebody puts a QQQ in front of a question. And Peter would jump right in before I even had a chance to see it and start answering those questions. I mean, it's just Peter being helpful. I can't hold that against you, Peter. But to me, it doubled my workload during these live streams. Because you know how I drastically search trying to get to all the questions that you guys ask. And yeah, maybe I don't get to them sometimes. But if everybody answers those questions before I get to them, I have to stop and read all of your answers, because I don't want to say things that maybe conflict with what you said. I don't want confusion in the person that asked me that question. So I asked Peter just simply, listen, my friend, answer anybody you like. You're helpful. You're a good guy. You're knowledgeable. You're everywhere like the shadow. I can't go into a live stream where I don't see Peter helping out. And I think it's a lot of work for nothing, but sometimes that's what people who want to be helpful do. I don't do that. You'll never see me in a live stream answering questions that are directed at the host of the live stream, but that's not a problem. But yesterday, man, it just hit me right then, because in the chat, when I got to that question, there was Peter's answer, and I did not agree with that answer. And that just makes it hard on me, because I don't want to hurt Peter's feelings and say, Peter, I don't agree with you. And then we've got a confused person. So I just asked Peter, listen, my friend, this is my live stream. I imagine when people ask questions, they're asking them of me. Let me answer them. And if you guys, this is interesting, if you guys, any of you, are having a conversation with Peter or anybody else and want to ask Peter a question, please ask away. That takes the workload off me. But put in your question at Papa Carnivore. That's all. And then it'll light up on Peter's screen, and he can pay attention to you, and you guys can have a tremendous conversation. And I encourage that. I've said it so many times. One of the most heartwarming things about this community that we have here is the friendship and respect we all have for each other. And if I made any impression yesterday in my little rant, and you know that, don't get me started, that I want to discourage any discourse between you or any expression of your opinions, that's not what it's about. I encourage everybody. And the chat is flying this morning. It's great. And there's already 140 people who probably tuned in this morning to find out what the hell happened to Mitch. Drama is an amazing thing. And we had a little drama yesterday. And I had forgotten to actually post a link to my Saturday afternoon live stream. I fully intended to do it. And the plumber was here who was supposed to be done about 1 or 1:30. And at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, we were knee deep. The water was shut off. We were trying to get a outside faucet replaced. And it didn't even dawn on me that 3 o'clock came and went. And then another slew of emails came in. I went looking for your live stream. Where was it? I'm so glad. I mean, in one respect, it's very flattering to me, very flattering to me, and heartwarming to me that I have a community of people that actually give a shit about me to make sure I'm all right. So thank you. Even though there were a lot of emails and I responded, I think I responded to every one of them. But it was overwhelming, and thank you. Thank you for caring. It's nice to know that if I should disappear, I'd have an army of people looking for me or wanting to know what the hell happened to me. So I have no show notes today, but I did want to get that out. And this morning, I'm indoors. I just didn't want to go and do all that extra work setting up the outdoor studio. It's kind of gray out there. It's not very enlightening. If it was a bright, sunny morning, I'd be out there in a minute. But today I just said, let's just do this. Went in the studio. Try to just somewhat justify your mildly bad behavior yesterday. And make sure that your friends all still love you. And it's great to see all of you here this morning. So here we are. And if you do have questions today, put QQQ in the chat. If you have a question you want Peter to answer, put @PapaCarnivore in the chat. If you have a question that you want Ellen to answer, put her name in the chat. I encourage that. But if you want me to answer your question, which I assume is why most of you are here, put QQQ in the chat, and I'll try to get to it. And I know that sometimes, I know that sometimes I don't get to them, but I'm here every day. Just ask it again, and try to ask it earlier if you can, and I'd appreciate that. All right, let me. That was interesting to say the least. Oh, let's see. Rick Charger Mopar chimed in yesterday late at night. And Kim appreciates life. How you doing? There you go. Was looking for today's live. Well, you can't find it, sorry. And you can't find it on Rumble either, so don't bother. That one is buried forever. And I don't think there was really anything in that anybody, there's nothing so monumental in it that it would be missed. Of all the live streams I do, that's the first time I ever took one down. And I just told you why. And same here, I was not able to see, I don't know what you said, it's a typo. And we have Susan Ivy. How you doing? I hope to get up in time Sunday morning. Well, we hope to see you here. These are all from yesterday. Terry Sue, coffee is a push button away. That was at 9:30. Wow, Dixie Scott, how you doing? Not sure, but I think YouTube is borked. The live stream from this morning is gone. I love, oh man, look at this. Look at this. See you all in the morning. I can smell the coffee. Jerry Hall, good to see you. Thomas, good to see you. Smoothie 420. Hope your plumbing adventure. Oh, it was an adventure. He's coming back today, too. He's coming back today. This old house of mine it was a plumbing disaster, and it's 35 years old. And those people who owned it, 2 or 3 different owners before me, must have been cheap as hell. Every plumbing repair was just awful, jury rigged. It was terrible. And today they're digging up my main drain sewer cleanup outside because that thing is even broken and it was installed wrong and it sticks up out of the ground, and when they come to mow the lawn they keep breaking it. So I'm having that redone today too. And then we're going to start, since they had to tear all the vapor barrier and insulation down under my house, now we have to put all that back. So today, as soon as they get here and get started working on the outside drain, I got to go to Lowe's and buy just a ton of fiberglass insulation and vapor barrier so that they can spend a couple of days nailing that up. It's been kind of a major overhaul. And I'm very tense about that stuff because every time they go to fix something, they find something else broken. I wonder if this will ever end. And I just want to live in my little house here and not have to be worried about everything. Lewis L. missed me all afternoon. Yes, everybody missed me yesterday, and I'm sorry about that. Thomas also missed me. Rick says, I looked for the afternoon live stream. Lady June is here. How you doing? From United Kingdom, good to see you. And Tammy was hunting for it, not like Mitch. See, let me explain something. When you are punctual, reliable, dependable, that can be a blessing or a curse. It's like cell phones. It's like cell phones. So y'all remember what it was like before cell phones? Remember answering machines? Well, you called somebody. You called a loved one. You called a loved one. Or they called you and they got your answering machine. Hi, this is Mitch. I'm not here right now. Please leave a message and I'll call you back as soon as possible. Beep. Hey, Mitch, this is Aunt so-and-so. Just try to get a hold of you. Give me a call when you can. Thanks, bye. And nobody worried about you. Aunt B didn't say, holy shit, where's Mitch? I better call 911. I better call the police right now to do a wellness check on Mitch because he always answers his phone instantly. I never go to voicemail. And that's the story of Mitch. Nobody who ever calls me ever goes to voicemail. Nobody who ever tries to reach me or sends me an email. Of course, that's not as urgent, but I generally respond if I can right away. And that causes people, when something is different, to panic. And we never used to have that. And that causes a lot of stress and a lot of grief. You know, if you're a husband and you got a wife and you always answer her call, you don't answer her call, you're in trouble. Where were you? What were you doing? Why didn't you answer my call? Yeah, I mean, I've been there. We've all been there. So maybe it's not good to be so reliable, but that's who I am. I've never been a minute late for an appointment in my life. Not 1 minute ever, ever, ever. So when you miss something, people assume you're dead, sick. They start calling emergency rooms. And that's what happened yesterday. I'm going to continue to try to be reliable. And I appreciate the fact that you all worry about me. Here we go. Was Friday morning live private? I'm sure it wasn't. Yeah. That's the only thing I can do is just take it off, say it's not public anymore. I don't want anybody to see this. I didn't want to delete it because I wanted it to be there in case I ever needed to go back and see exactly how obnoxious I was, or whether I actually expressed my opinion with some tact. I didn't watch the replay, don't care to. We're all entitled. Every one of us is entitled to have one of those days. And that was one of those days for me yesterday. Here we go. Anna says Friday morning is on YouTube. Yesterday morning with Mitch was not uploaded, as he says in his comments. There was no Sunday afternoon stream. But Mitch didn't say it would be. I did hint on the morning live stream that I would be there. I would have the afternoon stream. And then the plumber was there when I got finished. And I immediately got busy with him. And I forgot to create the actual stream, which is why nobody could find it. And then 3 o'clock came and went, and I said, uh-oh, first time in my life I missed something. But maybe this is a good day not to be doing another live stream. Let me take the rest of the day off. And I followed my own advice. And we're still at the middle of the night. Oh, man, you get up so early. Tom from Tampa. 3 o'clock in the morning. Tuka was here. How you doing, Tuka? Bob Black was here. And Bob Black at 4:30. And 6 o'clock this morning, Thomas woke up and Cliff Medina was here. And we're trying to get through this. But, gotta say, it's Sunday morning, guys. I'm going to take this one easy and not put a lot of pressure on myself. Great to see Ellen here in the chat. Ellen's chatting away. Wow. Thank you. Thank you, Ellen. I see CB. She's chatting with CB. Glad to see you too, my friend. Wayne Herman is here. Lynn Gerber. Hiya, Lynn. Mike Seeley Sr.'s up. And here. Tormir. Quack, quack, quack. How are you, boss? Tuka. This morning. I'm great. Like I just said, I just told you how I am this morning. I just did a whole soliloquy on how I am. But Rodney Dangerfield always said it best. And it's one of my favorite old expressions of his. I was in rough shape yesterday, but I'm okay now. Sandy Blythe is here. How you doing? Rick chimed in again this morning from Miami. Quack, quack to you. Kathy, how you doing? Good to see you. And Kevin Michael Smith, good morning to you. Steve McAvoy. Hiya, Steve. Hiya, Steve. I did get your email yesterday, and that madhouse of yesterday, I didn't get a chance to respond to it, but I will today. I haven't forgotten you, and I'm not ignoring you. Yesterday was, again, not the perfect day for me to get that kind of an email from you that required me to type out explanations and things. So have no fear. I will reply to you today. Richard Williams. Good morning, old fart. Yes, that's one thing about me that you got correct. Ketra, how you doing? How you doing? Driving to my son's. Okay, Jeff Johnson. Hiya, Jeff. How are you this morning? We're never going to catch up in the chat today, but I am going to search for the questions. I had to leave halfway through yesterday. Yeah, Dixie, you missed the best part. You missed the fireworks. Thomas Stargate Prime Rib is here. How you doing this morning? And Tammy's back. A lot of people who chimed in last night. Ellen chimed in. Good morning, all. Happy Sunday. And then the conversations ensued. Terry Sue said good morning. And I'm going to try to find the people I haven't said hi to yet amongst the conversations. Pamela Suarez. Good morning, Pamela. Good morning. We're up to 8:23, 8:24. I chimed in. Yes. Even me. I'm looking at everybody's really heavily into conversating already. 8:25. Look at all the chat entries. It was flying by. And speaking of chat entries, you guys have seen enough of that on the screen, so let me go to this view, which I always forget to do. Julie, is it Bush? Besh? I don't know how you would pronounce that. Bush, I guess. Good morning. I don't recognize your name. William McCartney's here. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It is. It is. I just wish we got a kind of a front stalled over us, and it's kind of gray outside. And a little bit damp out there. That's why I decided just to do it here in the morning. It is easier for me just to do it in my studio. It's already set up. I just got to come in 10 minutes. I get everything loaded up and running. Outside, I got to drag all that equipment out. But I love it outside. It's worth it to me to do it out there. It's not the cigars. Believe me, I can live without a cigar in the morning. It's just the whole attitude of morning. I love morning. I love to be out in it, and it's worth it. So as long as the weather is conducive and the sun is shining, I will always try to be. I don't know if it makes any difference to anybody, really. Louis L is here. How you doing, Louis? We're up to 8:27. I know this is the morning horse race. A lot of people wish I wouldn't do it, but I think it's fun. It's fun for me to see all these people diving in here early. Aaron, Booby Goats is with us. How you doing, Aaron? Nikki W's here. Hiya, Nikki. Good to see you. And who is this? Meatups. Good morning to you. Good morning, 8:29. You're all so close. CB Carmack at 8:29. Hiya, CB. How you doing? Lewis L again at 8:29. Ellen at 8:29. Gary going for it. Preach it to the choir, he says, at no slow. 1 minute before the stream started. And Rick, so close, Rick. 8:29, but the winner this morning, ding, 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 is Jerry Hall, 5:30 morning coffee. Here we come. You were the first one at 8:30 and followed shortly by Wayne Herman and Don Schonger. Good morning, Lady June. Robbie Autry, you almost close but no cigar, my friend. Edward Renner. Bryce Hatch said hello. Lewis was there. Terry Sue was there. Aaron was there. Mike Seeley was there. Tuca was there at 8:30. Thomas. Jerry Voitush, good morning from Ponte Vedra Beach. Thanks for the chicken thigh recommendations. They were perfect. So much better than wings. Yes. You emailed me that last night and told me, and I said yes. And the timing on that, the 375 for 30 minutes, don't turn them, is perfect. The skin comes out so crisp. I had them yesterday too, Jerry. And I had just bought some at Sam's Club. I had a huge flat of them, and it might sit in the fridge for a day or two before I vacuum seal them, but I decided that instead of freezing all of them, why don't I just eat some of them now and freeze the rest? So that's what I did yesterday, and I ended up getting 4 complete meals out of $9. Listen, folks, 4 complete meals of at least a pound to a pound and a half a piece of big, meaty chicken wings, chicken thighs, for $9. That's cheap. You cannot get anything as good and tasty. It may not be quite as nutritious as red meat, but it makes for a great meal at least once, maybe twice a week. It's like dumpster diving. They price those things so low so they don't have to throw them in the dumpster. It's, for all intents and purposes, a free meal. Try them. You put them in an air fryer. You put a little salt on them. Or like I do, in the one rare time I use any seasoning other than salt, I sprinkle a little bit of what they call the blend. It's just garlic. And yeah, maybe it has some ingredients in it that aren't the greatest. But, a little sprinkle, just add a little flavor. They are so good. And you get yourself all greasy and immerse yourself in all that fat. It's just a great experience. Great experience. I love it. I'm glad you enjoyed that. I ought to make another actual standalone video about those wings, because it is a great, if you want any variety at all, it's a great way to do that. And still at 8:30, finally, Terry Sue says, Bryce Hatchell's back again at 8:30, Lori 2, Ellen 2. All this is at 8:30, Lewis L. Wow. Tuco is back at 8:30. Look at this. How many chat entries could we possibly have at 8:30? And that was the last one, Tuca. 8:31, Lat chimed in. Hi, Lat. Sorry I missed 2 days. You missed all. You missed all of the drama, which is okay. And we got a nice turnout here, 150, 60 people on a Sunday morning. I managed to kill 30 minutes already with that. All right. QQQ in the chat. Buy me a coffee link, because I could use some coffee, guys. And what else do I got? I didn't even make any show notes today. Trying to think if there's anything I wanted to talk about, any happenings. Yeah, we've got the big meetup over there in at Kelsey's place over in Tampa this coming weekend, and Peter's going to be at the barbecue, and then I got an email yesterday from Mike Seeley over there that Kelsey invited him to the barbecue as well. So it's gonna be a lot of things. I wonder, Peter, if we should bring some cigars, or maybe we shouldn't dare to actually pull out and light up a cigar outdoors at Kelsey's backyard and have them throw us in the water or something. But that thought did cross my mind. And I'm a considerate guy. And generally, unless I'm smoking solely and only around other cigar smokers, I will not smoke a cigar in public. So probably not. But the thought hit me that it would kind of be funny. It would be like that scene in Cape Fear. Remember, Robert De Niro goes into the movie theater and he sits down in front of these two people that he's stalking. He puts his feet up on the backs of the seats in front of him. He takes out this cigar, he lights it up, and he fills the movie theater with cigar smoke. That was the movie scene that I envisioned when I thought about that. But that's coming tomorrow. That's coming, this Friday. And that's going to be fun. I think so. And I think that to drive down to Sarasota, Mike Silly suggested that we carpool. So, Peter, if you're at the hotel and Mike is at the hotel, we should probably leave Tampa. The barbecue starts at 4, I would say 3 o'clock at the latest. I imagine it will probably take an hour to get down there. And I'll ask one thing of you guys. Let me not drive for a change. Let me just actually be a passenger. Because that's all I ever do. Is drive. Always drive. So, we'll see, and we'll work that out. I see Homestead House here. Curry, hey, how you doing, my friend? I'm just talking about this. Looking forward to seeing you at the Kilts event and Papa Carnivore and Nelson Vasquez and many more. I am too. I am too, my friend. I am too. And it's going to be like a family reunion for us and 100 or 200 other people. But no, it's going to be a blast. It's going to be a blast. And I imagine I'm staying overnight Friday night at the hotel there where they're having the event, the Sheraton. So I'm sure we'll all, any of us that are staying there that traveled into town for the event, will probably have some fun lobby meetings where we'll be just sitting around and spending a lot of time. Hopefully we even get a little sleep. So I'm looking forward to it. And thanks for chiming in today. Good to see you. Good to see you. And as Kerry and I always say when we meet, why don't we get together more often? And then we're both so busy and we go in opposite directions that we'll probably this weekend set a date for another joint live stream. I'd like to have Curry as a guest. I don't interview people very often. In fact, I don't think on my channel live stream I've ever had an interview type. I've had some guests come in. I had Jonathan come in here the other morning from Bags Packed Family. But we have to cook up something with Curry because we get along so well. We consider ourselves like brothers from another mother, and we'll have to do that. We'll have to do that. My dad is coming, and with your help, we'll convert him to carnivore. Oh, Curry, if you can't do it, what makes you think I can? Because I'm old? All right, I'll give it a shot. I'll try to help. But you and I both know that unless they come to you and on bended knees, help me, you can't. They say you can lead a horse to water. Well, you know that. But that's fine. And I'm following the actual current chat right now over here on my screen. And I know there's probably a bunch of questions, but I thought it would be nice to interact with you real time here this morning, as opposed to going back and looking at all the previous chat, conversation, and questions, because there is a ton of it. So I'm gonna continue to. I'm going to go down to the bottom of that chat. As I scroll quickly, I'm going to take a second here and look for any QQQs. Here's something. Thank you so much. Carnivore Journey, a super sticker. Thank you, my friend. Very generous of you. Always appreciate it. And here's Boyd Lamb with a question. Did you outlive all your subcontractors from your builder days? More than likely. I've outlived... I'm older than dirt, Boyd. Older than dirt. My son tells a joke, and I tell him he's going to need to put me in there. But his joke is when he wants to talk about somebody being really, really, really old, really old, and being like he said, when this guy dies, the only thing else on the entire planet Earth that will still be alive are roaches and Keith Richards. And I always laugh my ass off when he says that. Keith Richards and the roaches. Seaside, question, Mitch, vegans are perceived to be health-conscious people, but are they healthy? How can that be with iron B2? No, vegans are on a road to malnutrition and early death if they don't figure it out. But they can be healthy, and most of them do pretty good for 2, 3, maybe 4 years before, because we can store sometimes years worth of some of these nutrients in our body. But it seems to be the norm that when you see somebody who's been a vegan who doesn't cheat, and that's another thing you always have to keep in mind. People don't always tell you the truth. I tell you I haven't had a plant in my mouth or a vegetable for 2.5 years. You have to trust me. I could be lying. I'm not. But even that, you don't know if it's true. So when a vegan comes on and say, I haven't eaten a meat, I haven't eaten an egg or fish or something, and he looks pretty healthy, he may be having omelets every morning for breakfast and fish for dinner. Maybe his income, maybe his livelihood, his YouTube channel, his number of views depend on the fact that he continually looks healthy. I think that's the case with most of these long-term vegan influencers. I think they're all frauds. Or they've got 100 supplements lined up for the day, and that's my opinion. No, we are not supposed to be vegans. It is a poisonous, malnourishing diet that can only do harm to us. I've got a video that I'm going to put out today, and it's another one of those watch this video things, and this is perfect for you. And I'm going to recommend, do a little intro and recommend that you watch a particular video. And it just so happens it's a fabulous, one of the best I've seen videos that tells you in no uncertain terms what we all know for a fact, and that is plants are trying to kill you. And it's not from Anthony Chafee, but it's so well done and so informative that you should bookmark it as a reference, as a link to send to anybody that ever asks you, well, I heard vegan is the best diet. Everybody knows that we're supposed to eat healthy fruits and vegetables and whole grains and avoid red. You know the drill. Watch out for that this afternoon. Many of you have probably seen it. Maybe it's been in your feed. I watched it twice already. If you've seen it, watch it again. And share it with everybody you know who might even think that they're doing the right thing, following all the conventional diet advice and believing in the narrative that's put out there by everybody that's supposed to be an expert. I'm just screaming through here looking for questions so I can get back to those of you that are in the chat now. 163 people. Homestead Hell, my dad is coming with your help. Okay, I saw that one already. And let me get down to the bottom. Gary Arzamendi. Hey, Gary. How you doing up early out there in California? I haven't seen you in a while. Good to see you, my friend. Holy cow, so many cool carnivores today. We are carnivores, and by God, we are. We are cool as well. See, I never get any respect. Gary says, when Mitch goes to the antique store, they don't let him out. If I got to get a rim shot sound effect here. Boom, boom. You know, I mean, I need one of those. I don't have one of those. I need to get a bell, like ding, ding, ding. I need to get it. I mean, I got stupid sound effects here because they came with the mixer, and I haven't really taken time to go in and say, I got this sound effect. Scratchy record. I got this one. Which is great if I was a hockey fan. That would work for a bad joke, I suppose. What's this one? Crickets. I got crickets. How about that? Isn't that great? I mean, those are the sound effects that I have. And I have all kinds of ways I can disguise my voice. And if I started using them on a regular basis, you guys would fire me and say, enough with that already. So I try to minimize. But there are certain times when a certain sound effect is just perfect. And it's called for, too. And it's called for. Okay, so I'm 9:09. I'm only about 5 minutes behind in the chat, so for all intents and purposes, we're current. Oh, and Peter, you can't help yourself. Oh, Peter, I love you so much, man. But you can't help yourself. Lat says, that's why I have an old house to make me look young. Yeah, well, my house, there's nothing I can do to make me look any young, but I do the best I can. I think I look younger than my years, but every once in a while I say, how old do you think I am? Don't we do that? Isn't that something we all do? If we think we look good for our age, we always go to people, well, how old do you think I am? Smug as we are. I did that once to a guy. I did that once not too long ago. Well, how old do you think I am? And the guy says, I don't know, 82. I said, get the hell out of here. Usually they call me in my early 70s. And listen, if I can be called in my early 70s, I'm happy. I'm happy. But when somebody thinks I'm 80, I say, what are you, blind? Here, clean your glasses with this, would you please? Obviously, you're not seeing straight. And damn if Kerry didn't fall for the bait. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And Francine Bourgeois is here. Francine was one of them that was worried about me yesterday and checked in. Thank you for that, Francine. Thank you so much. Now we've got chats of Peter and Curry having a conversation on the Old Guy Morning live stream. There's something you don't see every day, folks. There's something you don't see every day. Boyd Lamb, I don't know what this is. Maybe Mick will come in the chat and tell us how they did it. That's obviously not about me. I thought maybe Mick was supposed to be Mitch, but evidently it's not. And yeah, Rick, the Richie Rich get together. Well, I can assure you that I'm not one of the Richie Rich, that's for sure. And, I got to tell you, listen, Kelsey lives a big life. He's got a fabulous place, got his own private jet, he's a big doctor, he's just the most sweetest, down-to-earth guy you ever want to meet, but he's been very successful with his medical practice, his chain of fertility clinics. And while you never even know it if you meet him, going to his house is maybe a little tough for me. Based on the simple fact that at one point in my life, that was my lifestyle. I had the airplanes, the big mansions. I had all of that, and I had all of it just basically swiped out from under me by unscrupulous business partners, and I'll never get it back, and I'll never have that again. And I tend to stay away from things that remind me of what I've lost. I deal with it pretty good, but it's still there. It's still there. It always will be there. And I'm not unhappy with my life today, but sometimes things remind me of what I've lost. And it was hesitantly that I agreed to go to that barbecue and be among the Richie Rich when I'm not a member of that club anymore. So hopefully it won't bother me that much. I'll enjoy it. I don't envy him anymore. I don't even want that anymore. The upkeep on all the crap that I had was a full-time job. You have to hire people. You have to have people. Kiltz and I joke about that all the time. I don't have people. Kiltz has got people. He's got people. He's got people to help him produce his live streams and his video. He has to. He can't have the time to do what I do on my channel. It's a full-time job. And he starts at 5 o'clock in the morning with that live stream, which got to hand it to him. It's very ambitious. But no, I'm going to be there. Rick, I'm going to be there. But like you, the Richie Rich scare me more than they impress me anymore. Kathy, I ran into an old lady on a motorized scooter in Walmart. She was looking for an electric skillet to cook steak in her assisted living facility. That will be me in a few years. It doesn't have to be you, Kathy. Doesn't have to. Oh, Rick thinks I need quacking sounds. I guess I'm going to have to get them. I'm going to have to go in. It's very easy. All I got to do is find a sound effect, and there's an app on my computer that allows me to just drag them onto any of these buttons. And man, if nothing else, I got buttons here for them. So yeah, all right. If I do it, if I look for the ding, ding, ding and the rim shot and all that, I'll find a quack, quack for you. For you. Because we have a lot of duck talk in this live stream, and it's all your fault, my friend. All your fault. All your fault. And we'll have a Tuesday night live stream, guys, and I'll have a panel, and it won't be private community. And Rick, there's your chance, man. Come on in. Come on in. Sorry that we didn't have one on Saturday yesterday. Okay, so I'm just looking at the chat from about 5 minutes ago, and I'm just going to spend the rest of this stream visiting and interacting. And if you have any questions, last minute questions, throw them in there, and I'll get to it. But I'm tired. From yesterday and from this entire week of plumbing adventures and trying to get all this stuff done. And it's Sunday. It's Sunday, and I'm here. But I'm just in the mood to relax today. And my phone is going off. And what is it? Somebody bought me a coffee. Jerry Voitush, thank you so much. Jerry bought me a coffee this morning. I appreciate that, my friend. I appreciate that. And let me put the link in there again. Okay, there you go. Should anybody else feel the urge to say thank you, Mitch, here's something that'll make you feel better after that ridiculously hard day that you had yesterday. Or not. Whatever you want. Everybody's saying hi to Curry. Is Curry still in the chat? I imagine he's a busy guy. I see a question that I'll get to in a second here. You guys are still chatting away. Wow, wow. Gilream is here. Gilream says, I look older since losing 48 pounds, but I feel very good. Well, there are so many people who say to me, Mitch, you look older than your before pictures. Well, I had a big fat face back then. I had any wrinkles, and some of those before pictures were 20 years ago. I'm sorry. Yes, when you get thin, your wrinkles will show more. But that's not the only thing that makes you look older. And so many people, wrinkles aside, have said, wow, you look terrific. That's all I care about. And what do I care? What do any of us care? We care way too much about what other people think of our appearance. You ever see these fat people on the beach wearing a Speedo, shameless? And your first thought is, wow, aren't they embarrassed? Aren't they embarrassed? Big, hairy, fat guy, 350 pounds, wearing a friggin' piece of dental floss as a bathing suit and just showing it off like it's worth looking at. Don't you wish you didn't give a shit like he doesn't give a shit? I do, but I can't do it. I have something they call pride in my appearance. I wish I didn't. So, who cares if people think I look older? I wear my age as a badge of honor and experience. And if I'm not respected for that, if I'm looked at like some stupid old man, then I just change my location to where whoever's thinking that isn't looking at me anymore and never will again. That's all you can do. You can't change the minds or the opinions of judgmental people. You can only avoid them. and try not to get in a conflict with them because they will hound you, some of them, for the rest of your life. Deborah Wisegal really loves this community. Yes, it is the best. It's the greatest community. No offense, Curry, if you're still watching, your community is great too. But I don't know, there's something we have here. Something we have here. And Ellen, Gary Noslow, Boyd Lamb, Lat, everybody's talking to Curry here. Oh, now I'm about 10 minutes behind. I got to go faster. I got to look for questions and get current here. Here's a question from Janet Mitch. When having another panel, I love seeing Louis, Papatuka, etc. Yeah, I'm going to have the panel Tuesday night. Tuesday night, we're going to do it. Gil Ream says, what's the size of your coffee mug? It's about 12 ounces. Enough to hold 12 ounces. I fill this up at 12 ounces, about 3/8 inch from the top, which is the biggest setting on my Keurig, so it works out perfectly. And the link, by the way, to all of the desirable Old Guy Carnivore merchandise is in the description of every video that I make. Hey, Jackie W., how you doing? Good to see you this morning. Steve Studley chimed in. Curry says he's still here. Wow, Curry. Busy as you are. Well, it is Sunday morning. Great to see you, man. Thanks for hanging in there with me. If I'd have known you were going to be here, shoot me an email or something in advance if you think you're going to hang out for any length of time. I'll shoot you a link. You can come in and visit with me. Like Jonathan, Bags Pack Family did. He came in and visited with me last week for 5 or 10 minutes. That was all. Just introduced him. Chatted back and forth. Anytime, man. Anytime you think you want to come in and say hi to your brother from another mother, open invitation. Just shoot me you got my phone number. Hell, shoot me a text. Say, send me a link. You're one of very few people out there that actually has my phone number. I guard that with my life. And if anybody out there in this community says, hey, Mitch, what's your phone number? And I say, I don't give it out. Please don't feel slighted. Don't feel slighted. I can count on one hand the number of people I've given my personal phone number to. I've been asked 50 times. And I know people get their feelings hurt, but that's why I have a Gmail address that I always look at. If anybody needs to get a hold of me or get me a message or let me know something, send me that Gmail. But I've done that before. I made that mistake, and I had to change. Eventually, had to get a new phone number, and you know what what kind of hassle that is, because there are some people that have nothing to do and think that you have nothing to do but talk to them 10 times a day. Namadia Van, hi, I haven't seen you this morning. My wrinkles make my thighs look like, oh, God, that's disgusting. Sorry to hear that. Sorry to hear that. But you be carnivore long enough. You let that autophagy go to work on you, and your skin will tighten up. I know that my skin has tightened up in many places, especially around my waist and my belly. It's really firming up. It takes years. Don't get me wrong. You're not going to become carnivore today and, look in the mirror tomorrow morning and say, wow, that really worked. It's not going to happen. Don't get disappointed when it doesn't. Everybody, wow, almost 9:30 in the chat. Yeah, I'm almost to the bottom, and people are still saying hi to each other. That's great. This is kind of insightful. Kathy says, if you get to 95, everyone should stop and ask you how you did it. Have you ever stopped? Have you ever seen him interview somebody like a 100-year-old? You ever seen that? I've seen many of those things. You ever just get a chuckle when that 100-year-old looks and says, "You want to know my secret, young man? I have bacon and eggs for breakfast every morning and smoked 4 packs a day for the last 80 years. We always thought that was crazy. We always thought that that was impossible. We all know that bacon and eggs causes heart attacks. We all know that 4 packs of cigarettes a day will kill you. And yet, so this 100-year-old person must be lying. More often than not, that 100-year-old person is an old farmer sitting in a diner somewhere. One of these little mom and pop diners out in some rural town. At least the few times that I've seen them, they've been farmers. And look at the farmer. Look at their life. Look at, they're probably having those bacon and eggs every morning. And all that animal fat and grease that it's cooked with. They're working hard. They probably are physically active and have been their whole life. And as far as the cigarettes go, I think we got that one. God, I know this is a controversial thing to say, but I've given this so much thought, especially since I puff on cigars. Because if I thought that there was any chance that there was any detrimental health effect on my body from puffing on cigars, I wouldn't do it. Other than maybe staining my teeth, but that's not enough to make me give up something I enjoy so much. And I look back and I say, now, especially these days, now that we're finding and learning so much more about cancer being a metabolic disease, and about so much more than just these, what they call carcinogens. Now, I could see if you inhale 4 packs a day of cigarettes that you might have lung disorders. That I can understand. You might get COPD, emphysema. These are not circulatory, deadly heart attack type things. These are not cancer things. These are totally separate and legitimate thing that can happen when you're sucking down 4 packs of cigarettes into your lungs a day, something that cigar smokers don't do. We do not suck smoke into our lungs. People who use vapes are more prone to lung damage than any cigar smoker on the planet. Just the way it is. I get tired of being chastised. Well, you don't care about your health, Mitch, because you smoke cigars. I don't smoke cigars. I puff cigars. There's a big difference. I don't. If you're smoking marijuana, which so many people do, what you're doing to your lungs is horrible compared to what puffing a cigar does. But why do they think that they linked lung cancer to cigarette smoking and ignored any other, what they call confounder, which is what you need to do if you're going to blame something as causative in a study? So they did studies on people who had lung cancer, How many of them were smokers? How many of them weren't? And wow, magically, what do you think? 7 times as many people who smoked got lung cancer as people who didn't. My crazy analytic mind said, how the hell did the 1 out of 7 get lung cancer without smoking? Well, it must have been the secondhand. Bullshit. It's not secondhand smoke. Sorry. If that was true, we'd all be dead because we breathe more pollution than that in just out there on the highways when we're driving our cars from here to there. It is not an explanation that it's secondhand smoke. I grew up in a house where my mother smoked 2 packs of Pall-Malls a day. I was around secondhand smoke all my life. I puffed cigars the rest of my life. That's secondhand smoke that I breathe in. How come I don't have lung cancer? And somebody who gets lung cancer that's just never even been around smoke. I mean, there are people, you hear about them. They get lung cancer, they can't believe it. But doc, I don't smoke. And the doctor says, well, people get lung cancer who don't smoke. So I said to myself, well, 7 times as many people. I mean, that's a very damning study. But what else is there about those people who got lung cancer that maybe they didn't look at? Did they look at overall general health? Maybe, but I doubt it. Did they look at weight? Did they look at diet? Did they look at BMI? Did they do blood panels on these people to find out whether they were metabolically healthy and rule that out so that they're only comparing metabolically healthy smokers with metabolically healthy non-smokers? I don't know. Probably not. Because that's not what these groups who ran these tests were trying to prove. Their agenda was to ban cigarette smoking. Probably because some of them didn't like the smell of it when they're in a restaurant. So we need to ban this stuff because it's offensive. I find a lot of things offensive about a lot of people that I never take far enough to say we need to ban it. But so here we have 7 times as many people dying from cigarette smoking. And this still applies to the 100-year-old bacon and egg eating smoker that lived to be 100 as an explanation of not only did they live to be 100, but I would have been surprised if they had not lived to be 100. Which is kind of a wacko way to look at it, but that's how I see it. Because I don't see cigarette smoking as being the main cause of lung cancer. I see metabolic sickness that allows cancers to get a hold and get started that wouldn't become cancer in a metabolically healthy person because, again, the things they're learning about cancer now that feed them, that allow them to get started, that damage the DNA is not the cigarette smoke. That may cause emphysema because of the tar in it, but and again, like I always say, I could be wrong about this, but this is how I see it. And this is how I explain the fact that maybe that 100-year-old bacon and egg heart attack breakfast eating old guy who happened to be a farmer and was active and healthy all his life and is thin was metabolically healthy, and that's why the cigarettes didn't kill him. And maybe when I look back to the statistics from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, everybody smoked, remember? Even the doctor smoked. You went into the doctor's sitting in front of you, smoking a cigarette right in front of you. Everybody smoked. Everybody. Remember? It was the thing to do. I was going to school in the 60s. All the kids smoked. Everybody smoked. They didn't even make a big deal out of it. You couldn't even walk into the boys' room. It was like foggy city. There wasn't anywhere near the rate of diabetes, cancer, heart disease. Even the people that did get lung cancer, it was still nowhere near the rate of cancers today. Nowhere near the rate. So I came up with a an explanation that we were wrong about cigarette smoking when it comes to cancer. That it was the same thing that is causing a huge spike in cancers today. It is this effed up diet that they have us on that's profitable for them. They've brainwashed us into thinking that it's a healthy diet, and we are dying and going extinct as a species because of it, and they don't care because they make too much money. And that's my position right now. That's my position right now. So that's my comment about the healthy 95-year-old that you put in there. Is ask them how they did it. By doing all the things. By doing everything. And this is the bottom line. They're doing everything exactly the opposite of what they're told they need to do. And that's how they did it. And that's how I'm doing it. I don't care. Whatever they tell me to do to be healthy, bingo. I, about face, go completely in the other direction, especially when it comes to diet. Especially when it comes to diet. So there's a little diatribe for you this morning. There's the way I like to go down a rabbit hole or something. Because I do think about all this stuff, honestly. And that got me behind in the chat again. So let me scroll through the chat here real quick. There's a question from Jemet. Question. Just want you to know we Mitches love you. Why haven't we had the clap this week? Oh, you want me to give you all the clap, do you? All right, my friends. There's a little clap for you. There you go. I can give you guys the clap anytime I want. Thank you. And Jebet says, hey, Mitch, the Mitch fits. Oh, that's the clap again. Okay, well, there you go. There you go. Somebody said Papa Carnivore's name isn't in green. It is on my chat. Who, I am hurt. What the hell's going on here? Hey, Mitch, Peter's saying something about he's going to watch only Rick's stream from here on out. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I have no idea. Peter, if you're still here, someone posted a comment just now. That was not me. Is somebody created a channel, Peter, with your name that's not in green? Because it wouldn't be. And they're trying to post like they were you. That is, if that's true, that is a troll. That is a troll. I'm going to try to find it here because, wow, that's never happened before. Are you telling me, Peter, that you posted that there's a post in there that says Papa Carnivore and it wasn't you? Oh, Papa Carnivore says, I think Ellen blocked the hacker successfully. Okay, all right, good. Because I'm starting to read posts there that said Peter, and I'm saying, that's not, why would Peter say that? Why would Peter say that? So, thank you, Ellen. Yeah, Boyd Lamb on one hand. Yeah, Ellen Ellen's doing her job. That's what a moderator's. He's blocked now. Thanks, Ellen. Unbelievable. Unfrigging believable. Is there any reason why there are times when I say to myself, I just can't deal with this YouTube crap anymore because of the people out there? The trolls. It's crazy. It's crazy. You know, yesterday I told Peter he needs to start his own YouTube channel. Let me revise that advice to you, my friend. Don't. What you're doing is you're spending your time on other people's channels, and let them have all the grief and aggravation of dealing with the comments and the emails and the trolls and the hackers and YouTube with their shadow banning and censoring and constant emails. This video you put up is not suitable for advertising, so you're going to make no money. It's one of the things that got me yesterday was just the constant grief and aggravation of trying to be a YouTuber and make everybody happy and love you. Sometimes it ain't easy. And sometimes you may offend the wrong person. Maybe I get it wrong sometimes, blame the wrong person for something. But wow, I can't believe somebody came on there. Peter, I can't believe somebody came on there after you. That's the first time. That's my first. Ellen, sharp shooting there, young lady. Sharp shooting. Thank you. So glad you were here this morning to catch that. And anytime in the chat, you know who the private community members are, and their names all come up in green. So if you see a name that you know is generally green and it's not green, you let everybody know. Set off the alarm bells. That would be because anybody can create a YouTube account under any name. You can do that in social media. That's why Donald Trump had to have an account that was the real Donald Trump. And you know, well, on Twitter you can't duplicate names, but on YouTube, I could create an account, Mitch, a username on YouTube, just Mitch, and there could be 50,000 other Mitches, but it would just say Mitch. I could do that, and it would show up. Wow, that was crazy. Got my little heart puttering there. Oh no. But I don't think I got hacked. I think they just came in under that name, and evidently we haven't seen them more. Oh, here it is. Here's one of them where it was white. They stole his picture. See it? White. I am hurt to the bottom of my heart. And the one right after it says, I don't know that's happening, but I definitely been hacked. And that one, it doesn't show up as green on the screen, but it does show up as green. So I got 2 Papa Carnivore posts here. And you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this 1 second right now. I'm going to take this 1 second, and I'm going to actually take a screenshot of that. I'm going to take a screenshot of that. I'm going to save it. And now I've got it. I've got 2 posts, one on top of the other, from Peter. One of them white and one of them green. So be careful if you've taken some of those posts that you may have thought were from Peter. Seriously, I would go back and see if they're still there now, or don't take any seriously. We're back to the clap question. Well, I went backwards a ways trying to ferret that out. Peter says, yes, I see a comment that says Papa Carnivore, but has no star next to it. That is a hacker pretending to be me. Well, you know what they say, imitation is the highest form of flattery there, Peter. Oh, and he says here, I hate the old fart. Yeah, see, look at that. I even have a sneaking suspicion who that might have been doing that, but Hope we won't do it again. And then Peter says there's a hacker who's posting comments with my name. Yeah. All right. I didn't see the whole conversation. Yeah, Boyd says, too bad Mitch doesn't keep up with the chat in real time. I can't possibly. And answer questions and talk to people. There's just no way. That's just no way. That's why it's great to have Ellen in the chat. That's why I value it when she can come in there and sit up in the balcony up there in the penthouse and oversee this. I don't have people every day like so many other YouTubers do, like Ken Berry, like the big guys. I just don't have people. I have to do it all myself. All right, so all this chat was about Peter's hacker. There you go, Peter. You should feel honored. Here's a question. What about radon exposure regarding lung cancer, radon from basements to natural stone? Kathy, I have no idea. I've never cared about radon exposure. In Florida, we don't have basements. That's a whole field. You could be a specialist in just that. I can't tell you a thing about that. All right. I think we're getting onto it. I think my workers are going to be here any minute if they're not here already. I think I heard a car door slam outside. So let me get through this down to the bottom. Grab any last questions that I can. I'll tell you one thing that we were missing today, and that was this. Little happy music. 175 people here on Sunday morning. Wow, wow, wow. Well, this one's not going to get deleted, guys. This was a great stream. Worked out. I enjoyed it. I feel good. I'm going to have a great day today. I'm going to buy a lot of insulation at Lowe's. Spend a lot of money. Brooke is here, Spiritual Nomad. Good to see you. And new people are still chiming in. And I'm catching up 5 minutes behind. And the chat is going faster than I'm going. Holy cow. Here's a question from Steve Studley. No, that's not it. It went so fast it just went up. Okay, here we go. I am so healthy and about to fire my doctor. Steve. Yes. Not a bad thing. More of these doctors need to be fired. You know, one last comment before I go. I was thinking a lot about the nerve of big tech and YouTube censoring, shadow banning our message and deeming it as misinformation. When the entire medical community are really the culprits spreading misinformation. And not one of us doubts it. And when I think of the medical community and I think of doctors telling their patients that eating meat will kill them and they should be eating grains and fruits and vegetables, I think how they're just laughing in the face of the oath that all of them took to do no harm while they systematically kill people, make them sick, ruin their lives, and make them suffer. How could that be? How could that be? The evidence is there. They can't cure a damn thing. And their treatments just extend life, but they don't decrease suffering. They allow suffering to increase because these chronic diseases just get worse and require more and more treatment, more and more drugs, more and more surgery, and they make more and more money. But my God, they are doing enormous harm. Shame on them for not even waking up, opening their eyes enough to look at the reality of it. Shame on them. So fire your doctor, Steve. Fire your doctor. They all should be fired. Unfortunately, when you break something, you need them. Because there are some good doctors who do some good things, like the fabulous hand surgeon that fixed my wrist when I shattered it. Like the brain surgeon that took that killer subdural hematoma out of my head. We need these guys. There are things in medicine that are terrific and helpful. Stay away from my metabolism, will you please? Just fix the machinery. You're mechanics. You're good at that shit. Hey, Steve Rogers, Captain America. Better late than never, my friend. If you were here before, I missed you. All right, take a few minutes to say goodbye to everybody. I have got down to the bottom of the chat. Rick says, see you tomorrow. Okay, Rick, I will see you tomorrow. CB Carmack says, that's what we have the emergency room for. That's true. That's true. Anything serious happens to me, I'm going to the emergency room. They have all the equipment. They have all the tests, the blood tests, the imaging right there. I don't have to make appointments. Wait in waiting rooms. Wait 2 weeks for the results to come back. I go in there one-stop shopping. That's it. That's it for me. And then if I have to be referred or need further treatment, I'll worry about it later. But that's what I do with my kidney stone. And the VA does not do that emergency stuff. Not here. So that's what I'm supposed to do. All right, my friend, the music has ended. Thanks so much for coming in. Thank you so much for coming in. I had a good time. I hope you did too. Thanks to everybody who strayed in here today, including Curry. It's good to see you. And life is good. Let's, why don't we plan on doing this again tomorrow? Okay. I'll be here tomorrow, 8:30. Hope it's sunny. Hope I'm outside. We'll see. We'll see. But my friends, until then, take the rest of the day off and eat meat.